We're diving deep today into the world of AI infrastructure, specifically Marvell's role in it. We've got a stack of materials from their recent AI Day event, and let me tell you, they are not messing around. They're making some really bold claims about building the foundation for the future of AI.
Yeah, what's striking is that
Yeah.
it's not just about,
Yeah.
you know, making AI faster. It's like they're talking about building this whole ecosystem. It's like, forget just building a better car. We're creating the roads, the traffic systems, the whole infrastructure.
Okay, I love that analogy, but let's maybe break it down even further. When we talk about accelerated infrastructure in the context of AI, what are we really talking about? What is Marvell actually making?
So it all starts with data. Like imagine AI as this giant machine learning algorithm,
Yeah.
constantly consuming and processing information to learn and make decisions. And just like any powerful machine, it needs a steady, high-speed supply of fuel. And that fuel is data. Marvell is essentially building the pipelines and refineries to make sure the data flows efficiently and at incredible speeds.
So it's not like they're making the chips we have in our phones, right?
Exactly. Marvell designs the chips that power the underlying infrastructure of the AI world. Think of it this way. The chips in your phone help you use AI. Marvell's chips help build and train that AI in the first place. They're focused on moving, storing, processing, and securing the massive amounts of data that AI needs to function.
I see. So going back to your car analogy, if AI is the car, Marvell is building the entire highway system that allows it to operate.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just building a single-lane highway either. They're creating this complex network of interconnected data highways that are designed to handle the increasing demands of AI.
Which kind of begs the question, why should anyone care about this infrastructure stuff? It might seem kind of behind the scenes, but is this really impacting our day-to-day lives?
Absolutely. It's tempting to think of this as just like making your internet faster, our downloads quicker.
Yeah.
But the truth is this technology is going to impact every aspect of our lives.
Because AI is being integrated into practically every industry now, right?
Yeah, precisely. We're talking about a seismic shift in how everything from healthcare to finance, transportation to entertainment, even art operates. AI is becoming the engine of innovation. And as AI models grow in complexity and require even more data, that's where the need for a robust and powerful infrastructure becomes absolutely critical. This is the foundation upon which the future of AI is being built.
So Marvell is essentially saying, look, the AI revolution is happening, and we're not just along for the ride. We're building the engine.
Exactly. They're making the case that they're not just a company benefiting from the rise of AI, but a company that is absolutely essential to its very existence.
That's a bold statement. But how exactly do they plan to pull that off? What's their strategy?
Well, they've laid out a pretty clear roadmap in these materials. Let's dive into what they call their 3 pillars of power. This is where they see their biggest opportunities.
3 pillars of power. It sounds almost mythical. So what are these pillars, and how do they support Marvell's grand vision for AI infrastructure?
Well, it's a pretty apt metaphor when you think about it. Their first pillar is connectivity. Think of it as the circulatory system of the AI world. It's about moving massive amounts of data quickly and efficiently between all the different parts of an AI system.
Okay, so more than just a good internet connection.
Way more. It's about the connections within the data centers themselves. Imagine trying to train an AI model to recognize images, but the data is fragmented and slow to access. It would be like trying to learn a new language from a scattered pile of flashcards instead of a well-organized textbook.
So how does Marvell make those connections faster? What's their secret sauce?
They're betting big on something called optical interconnects. It's essentially like taking the speed and bandwidth of fiber optic cables and shrinking them down to the size of a microchip.
Wow. So they're putting tiny lasers on computer chips.
That's a pretty accurate way to put it. This allows for incredibly fast data transfers within the data center itself.
Yeah.
Remember, as AI models become more complex, they require exponentially more data. And that data needs to move quickly between processors to keep everything running smoothly.
It's like the difference between having a single-lane road and a multi-lane superhighway for data.
Exactly. And that brings us to their second pillar, custom compute. Here's the thing. Not all AI tasks are created equal. Some require crunching massive data sets, others demand lightning-fast image recognition, and still others are all about processing natural language. Marvell's argument is that a one-size-fits-all chip simply can't handle the diverse demands of the AI world.
So instead of a general-purpose chip, they're designing specialized chips for specific AI applications.
Exactly. Think of it like having a toolbox with a specific tool for each job. Marvell is partnering with major players in the AI field. particularly what they call hyperscalers.
Hyperscalers, those are the companies with the massive data centers, right?
You got it. Companies like Google, Amazon, Meta, they rely on massive amounts of computing power, and they have very specific needs when it comes to AI. Marvell is working directly with them to design custom chips that are optimized for their unique AI workloads.
That's a pretty smart strategy. It's like they're saying, tell us what kind of AI you're building, and we'll build you the perfect brain for the job.
And that brings us to their final pillar, switching. Imagine you're directing traffic in a bustling city. You need a system to ensure that cars flow smoothly, avoid congestion, and reach their destinations quickly. That's essentially what switching does in a data center. It manages the flow of information, ensuring that everything gets where it needs to go quickly and efficiently.
So switching is like the air traffic control of the data center, preventing digital gridlock.
That's a great way to think about it. Marvell emphasizes the need for their switches to be incredibly fast, scalable, and importantly, programmable. They highlight their new 51.2 TBP switch as a prime example of this technology. It's designed to handle the massive data flows generated by AI applications.
It sounds like they're pulling out all the stops, but how does this translate into real-world results? Are they just throwing around impressive-sounding numbers, or are they actually backing it up with, actual results?
They've provided some pretty compelling projections in these materials. They're expecting their total addressable market, or TAM as it's called, in data centers, to grow significantly in the coming years. This growth is being driven in large part by the increasing adoption of AI across various industries.
So they're expecting a much bigger slice of the pie.
Exactly. They're projecting substantial revenue growth.
Yeah.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is by investing heavily in these three pillars of their strategy. But here's the thing. It's not just about faster speeds and bigger numbers. It's about what this technology enables.
That's what I'm really curious about. They've thrown around a lot of technical terms, but I want to understand the tangible impact of all of this. For example, what's so special about optical interconnects? How do they actually work? And what kind of impact are they having on the development of AI?
Okay, so let's peel back the layers on these optical interconnects.
Okay.
You said it's about moving data at the speed of light, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the basic idea. They're leveraging silicon photonics, which sounds super complex, but think of it like this. Instead of electrical signals traveling through copper wires, they're using pulses of light through tiny optical fibers etched onto the chip itself.
So it's like fiber optic internet, but miniaturized to a microscopic level.
Exactly. And because light travels faster than electricity, and with less resistance, you get significantly faster data transfer speeds and lower power consumption.
Okay, now that makes sense. They also mentioned something called PAM4 modulation. Is that related to the optical interconnect stuff?
Yeah, it is. It's like squeezing more juice out of the data pipe. Imagine you have a string of Christmas lights, and you want to send a message with them. Instead of just turning each light on or off, PAM4 lets you adjust the brightness of each light in 4 different levels, so you can send more information with the same number of lights.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So with PAM4, they're cramming more information into each pulse of light, which means even faster data transfer speeds.
Precisely. And the best part is, Marvell is already working on the next generation of optical interconnects. They're talking about even faster speeds and higher bandwidths. It seems like they're not just keeping pace with the demands of AI, they're trying to stay ahead of the curve.
That's impressive. They're really committed to this idea of custom compute as well. What stood out to you about their approach to chip design?
I think their flexibility, they're not trying to force everyone to use the same generic chip. They understand that different AI workloads have very specific requirements. So they're working hand in hand with their clients to design chips tailored to their exact needs.
So it's like a tailor-made suit, but for AI algorithms.
Exactly. And they highlighted their experience in designing chips for a wide range of applications, which gives them kind of a unique perspective on how to optimize for different AI workloads. They're particularly focused on things like power efficiency, performance for specific tasks like natural language processing or image recognition, and even the ability to handle the massive data sets required for training AI models.
And all of this ties into their final pillar, switching, which is essentially about directing the flow of all of this data, right?
Right. Think of it as the traffic management system for the data center. With AI generating and consuming these enormous amounts of data, you need a highly efficient and intelligent system to manage it all. That's where Marvell's switching technology comes in.
So their switches are like the air traffic controllers of the AI world, making sure everything moves smoothly and efficiently.
Precisely. They talked about how their switches are designed for performance, meaning they can handle incredibly high data transfer speeds, scalability so they can grow alongside the demands of ever-expanding data centers, and programmability, which means they can be customized and optimized for specific AI applications.
So it's not just about building faster switches, it's about making them smarter and more adaptable as well.
Exactly. And Marvell made a really crucial point about software. It's not enough to just have powerful hardware. You need sophisticated software working in tandem with that hardware to really manage and optimize data flow for AI workloads.
So they're really looking at the entire picture, from the physical connections between chips, to the design of the chips themselves, to the software that controls it all.
They are. And I think that's what makes their vision for the future of AI infrastructure so compelling. They're not just focusing on one piece of the puzzle. They're trying to create a complete and integrated ecosystem that can support the continued growth and evolution of AI.
It's clear that Marvell sees a future where AI is, woven into the fabric of our lives, and they're building the foundation for that future. One optical interconnect, one custom chip, one high-speed switch at a time.
And that brings up a really important question for all of us to consider. As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our world, who gets to control the infrastructure that underpins it? Who gets to decide how this technology is used and who benefits from it?
That's a profound thought. And it's a discussion we need to be having now, as we stand on the cusp of this new era of AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the choices we make today about the infrastructure we build and the values we embed in that infrastructure will shape the future of AI.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the future of our world.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And for breaking down these really complex topics in such a clear and engaging way.
Yeah, it's always exciting to explore the frontiers of technology and consider the potential impact on our lives.
To our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you a glimpse into the fascinating world of AI infrastructure and the crucial role that companies like Marvell are playing in shaping its future.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the possibilities of this incredible technology.